Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed what was a wonderful evening of Major League Baseball playoffs last night. Big shout out to the Mariners and the Yankees for both winning those games. Yankees versus Blue Jays. Wow, what a game. Huge comeback for the Yankees, man. I thought that the Blue Jays were going to win that game. They were up 6-1, and everything was looking good. Then a couple of, defensive mistakes from the Blue Jays, and then, the big home runs from Judge and Chisholm. And, yeah, got to give a big shout out to the Yankees. So, good job to them. And, now it's time to look at the games for today, Wednesday, October 8th. First up, the Detroit Tigers hosting the Seattle Mariners. Of course, the Mariners just won yesterday. They lead the series 2-1 now. It's going to be Bryce Miller starting for the Seattle Mariners, going up against Casey Mize starting for the Detroit Tigers. I trust Casey Mize more here, and I'll tell you why. Bryce Miller has been very unreliable this season. A 5.56 earned run average on the road for Bryce Miller. He's got an ERA close to 6 overall this season. Last year in 2024, he was really good. He had an ERA sub 3. But this year in 2025, I don't know. I mean, he's dealing with some injuries throughout the year that may have had something to do with it. But definitely took a step back, and that was disappointing to see. And so Casey Mize, his ERA sub 4 this year. He had 14 wins. He's been the more consistent pitcher. Former number 1 overall pick. He's pitched in a lot of big games throughout his career. He's been in this spot before. Bryce Miller has never pitched in a postseason game, or at least he's never started a postseason game. And so I trust Casey Mize more here. Now, I'm not crazy. I will tell you that the Seattle Mariners have the hotter batting lineup right now, and they also have probably the better bullpen as well. So this game is really hard to predict. It's about as 50-50 as it gets. I'm going to pick the Detroit Tigers to win this game. I think at home, they're going to have the home crowd behind them. They have the better starting pitcher. I think there's a good chance that Bryce Miller gets destroyed. Look for Kerry Carpenter or Riley Green to hit a home run. And I think the Tigers are going to beat the Seattle Mariners, and I think this series is going to go to a Game 5 back in Seattle. All right, moving on. Cubs Brewers. Okay, so it's Quinn Priester for the Brewers going up against Jameson Taillon for the Chicago Cubs. This is a really, really fun game. Obviously, the Brewers lead the series 2-0. It's do or die time for the Cubs. They get to play in Wrigley Field in front of what's going to be a super excited home crowd. I'm just going to say this, which is that the Brewers have won 18 out of the last 19 starts for Quinn Priester. So basically, whenever Quinn Priester starts, the Brewers win. He's been really, really solid this year. 3.32 ERA, 13-3 record. He's faced Chicago 3 times this year, and he won 2 out of those 3 games. In his last 10 innings against Chicago, has only allowed 3 runs. There's going to be a lot of wind in Wrigley tomorrow. If you're watching this game, watch out for that, because the wind is going to be blowing in heavily, 12 miles per hour. And so it's going to be hard to hit home runs at Wrigley Field tomorrow. And so the home run dependent team, which is the Cubs, is going to be a little bit at a disadvantage. They were 6th in MLB in home runs this season. They scored a lot of their runs off of home runs. The Brewers were 22nd in home runs as a team. The Brewers don't need home runs to score. The Brewers play small ball. They get singles. They get walks. They get on base. They move runners over. They get timely hits. The Brewers don't need home runs. And so in a pitcher-friendly situation like it's going to be tomorrow, I think that the Brewers I mean, by the way, the Brewers have a hotter offense as well. I mean, they've outscored the Cubs in this series already by a long shot. So the Brewers have the hotter offense. By the way, the Brewers have the better bullpen as well. And then just to check back on Jameson Taillon, he's faced Milwaukee 3 times in this season. In his last 16 innings pitched against Milwaukee, he's allowed 8 runs. That's not good. So I think that Milwaukee has the starting pitching advantage, and I think they have the bullpen advantage. I think they have the hotter lineup. I think the only reason why the Cubs are favored in this game is because they're at home. And so I mean, hey, I want to say this. Jameson Taillon has pitched really well recently. I don't want to disrespect the guy. He's pitched really well recently. He pitched really well against the Padres in his first playoff outing this season. And he pitched really well since coming back from injury in the second half of the season. So let's give him his props. But Quinn Priester's been just as good. And so, yeah, I think the Brewers are going to win this game. I think the Cubs are going to get swept. Sadly for Chicago fans, it is what it is. But, yeah, I think the Brewers are going to win this one and move on to the NLCS. And so now let's move on to the third game of today's slate, Wednesday, October 8th. It's going to be the Toronto Blue Jays visiting the New York Yankees. Louis Varland is going to start what is to be a bullpen game for the Toronto Blue Jays. And then it's going to be Cam Schlittler starting for the New York Yankees. Cam Schlittler, oh my goodness, what an outing his last time for the Yankees. This guy, 8 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, no walks against the Red Sox in a win-or-go-home situation in the Bronx. Had all the pressure on his shoulders. This guy's a rookie, 24 years old. You got to give this guy a massive amount of credit for his performance in that game against the Red Sox. That was seriously impressive. Can he do it again? Because he's in exactly the same situation. Win or go home in the Bronx. He now has to face the Blue Jays, who are red hot. They've scored 6 runs or more in every game this series. This offense is firing on all cylinders, and he has not done well against the Blue Jays this season. He's faced them twice. He's gone 6 2/3 innings against the Blue Jays, and he's given up 6 runs. So the Blue Jays have hit Cam Schlittler this year. I know he went off against the Red Sox. He pitched great against the Red Sox, but the Blue Jays have hit Cam Schlittler this season. Now, Louis Varland, he got destroyed. He simply got destroyed against the Yankees last night. Judge took him for that 3-run bomb. Chisholm hit a massive homer. And so, yeah, I don't feel great about Louis Varland starting this game, but it's not going to be a long outing. He's out there to open the game. I would assume, I don't know, no one knows what the Blue Jays' plan is, but I'm thinking that Eric Lauer is going to come in after Louis Varland. And I like Eric Lauer. I think he did a pretty solid job this season. He did struggle against the Yankees in his last outing. He got destroyed, so that is something to be aware of. But the Blue Jays are going with a bullpen game in Game 4 against Cam Schlittler. I think both teams are probably going to score runs. This game most likely is going to be high scoring. If you want to bet an over, I don't hate that. I think it's I don't dislike it. I think it's a good bet. If you want to bet the over, I think it's probably pretty smart. And yeah, this has gotten out of hand. I mean, the Yankees are favored pretty heavily here. I don't think they should be favored by that much. I think the Blue Jays are overall the better team. The Blue Jays have outplayed the Yankees in this series. A bad error from Addison Barger in Game 3 really cost the Blue Jays and flipped the momentum to the Yankees, and the Yankees were able to ride that momentum and win that game. But is that going to happen again in Game 4? Well, the bullpens here are equal. The offenses are both really good, but I still think the Blue Jays have the hotter offense. And so, yeah, Schlittler on the mound, you probably trust that more than, a bullpen game for the Blue Jays. But the Yankees should not be favored by as much as they are favored by. And so for that reason, I'm going to pick the Blue Jays to win this game. I'm seeing a minus 180 on the Yankees. That is out of hand. That is not in my opinion, a good price. And so we'll find out tomorrow. We'll find out tonight. If the Yankees are able to send this to 5 games, but I think the Blue Jays are going to find a way to win this game. They've done it all year long. They are a scrappy team, and I think they're going to eliminate the Yankees. I think that if Addison Barger makes that play, that game 3 is completely different. So, yeah, give me the Blue Jays to eliminate the Yankees tonight. And then, finally, for the last game of the day, the 4th and final game. It is the Philadelphia Phillies visiting the Los Angeles Dodgers. Aaron Nola pitching for the Phillies. Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitching for the Dodgers. Aaron Nola, man, this guy's been really bad this year. His ERA is a 6 ERA. His last 12 innings pitched on the road. Actually, his last 13 innings pitched on the road. 16 runs allowed. My goodness, this guy's been really bad on the road. He has faced the Dodgers 2 times in the last 2 seasons. The Dodgers lineup is pretty similar to what it was last year, so I included a game from last year in which he faced the Dodgers, and he's given up 7 runs in his last 12 innings against the Dodgers. So the Dodgers lineup have hit him well recently. And on the other side, so basically I think Aaron Nola is going to get destroyed. I don't see how he pitches well here. By the way, he's going into a hostile environment at Dodger Stadium. The crowd's going to be going absolutely nuts. And the Dodgers are one of the best home teams, if not the best home team in baseball. They went 52-29 this year at home. We saw what they did to the Reds in the last series. They just took the first 2 games of this series in Philly, and now they come back home where they're way better. They're a way better team at home. I don't know how anyone could pick the Phillies to win this game. I just don't know how anyone could do it. Aaron Nola has been really bad this year. He's been really bad against the Dodgers. And then Yoshinobu Yamamoto, last 18 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. He's on fire. He's coming in on fire. He shut down the Phillies earlier this year. He's the much better pitcher. The Phillies are a lot worse on the road, by the way. They went 41-40 on the road. They were a much better home team, the Phillies were. So now they got to go on the road and win a game. I don't see it. I'm actually very sure the Dodgers are going to sweep the Phillies in the last game of today's slate on Wednesday, October 8th. So I'm going to recap the 4 picks here. In the Mariners at the Tigers game, I'm going to be picking the Tigers to defeat the Mariners. Then in the Brewers visiting the Cubs game, I'm going to pick the Brewers to eliminate the Chicago Cubs via a sweep of 3 games. Then moving on to Blue Jays Yankees in New York, I'm going to pick the Blue Jays to eliminate the Yankees in 4 games. I think the Blue Jays are going to eliminate them here today. I think it's a really good value if you want to bet on the Blue Jays. It's a really nice value. I think they're going to eliminate the Yankees. And then finally, the Dodgers hosting the Phillies. And so pretty sure that the Dodgers are going to eliminate the Phillies. Pretty sure the Dodgers are going to sweep them. So thanks for tuning in. Please leave your picks and predictions in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys think. Thank you for tuning in. And hopefully we have more exciting games just like last night headed our way for tonight. If we do, then it's going to be a great evening of Major League Baseball playoffs. Until next time, have a great day, everybody. Stay safe out there.